Hey everyone, this is Sohini from Dabble Alexa, and welcome to episode 3. This is, I guess, it is, yeah, it is. Before we get started, I just wanted to know if the audio, if the video, and everything's clear. And if you're watching me right now, you can just maybe drop a comment on the chat box and let me know if everything's clear. And yeah, I'm just good to go. You can let me know. Hi Brito, thanks for joining in, and I wanted to thank you for joining in to all my episodes, all the streams. You've been a constant viewer. Thanks for contributing to the amazing things that we do. Yeah, can you please let me know if things are clear, if the audio, video, and because today I have a bit of network issue, which might have a little less bandwidth for the data to pass. And oh, he says my spectacles is cool. Thank you. Yes, so I just wanted to have some anti-glare glasses because I have began to realize that I'm just destroying my eyes. And yeah. Okay, I think the audio, video, and everything's quite clear. So I would want to get started. And as usual, I'd say that please utilize the chats to ask me questions. And please share your thoughts because I'm gonna ask you lots of questions about what you think. And we're gonna make it interactive because that's the whole point of doing this episode. Because I want to know your thoughts, how you think on the stuff that we do. Because I know what I do, I know what I think, we know what we think. But yeah, I would love to know what you think about these. So today we're gonna I'm so sorry, I have some I just caught this cough, so I would maybe cough a bit throughout the episode today. I'm extremely sorry for that, but please excuse me for that. Okay, so today we'd be doing the settings API example. And just a sec. Hold on for a second. Okay, so this okay, so about the settings API. So in most of the cases we find out that three things become extremely important, and these three things can be exactly fetched through a user's device ID, and their because that's something that is very much unique for each one of us. I bet if we have 10 viewers right now, then each one of us have a different device ID, and all the 10 of us are at different time zones. We are at different locations, so our time zone's gonna be different, our time's gonna be different. Somewhere it'd be morning, somewhere it'd be evening, and somewhere it'd be noon or afternoon. So that's something that's gonna keep changing with respect to our time zones. So sometimes a lot of skills require the capacity to find out your time zone, because without that our motive becomes quite useless. But that's the a user's time zone is something that's gonna solve our problem. That's something that we need in our skill. So that's the reason we've got the settings API set up. So this is one of the coolest thing that I find in Alexa is we've got so many APIs to get in your personal data, and you got the validation process. If we give access to it, then only Alexa can fetch in your details, and it can be used further to communicate with you or do some stuff with you So I think through the settings API, we can do three things. So the three things would be your time zone, your distance, and the unit of temperature. The unit of distance and the unit of temperature. So I don't. I just tried to think a lot yesterday when I was trying to prepare for the stream. Trying to just So basically, when I say, sorry. Basically, when I say prepare for the stream, I mean that think about stuff that I can deliver apart from just the coding process. Just a sec. So I just thought a lot, and I just wanted to find out if there could be something where the unit of temperature and the unit of distance could be used. It would have been amazing, but sadly, I couldn't have thoughts on a use case for them. So that's a question to you. Have you any idea where the unit of temperature or the unit of distance of a person could be useful? If you really think there could be a use case for this, you can let me know on the chats and the comments, because I would love to know that. I really want to know. So that's something that I'm still trying to find out, still trying to figure out. But there's the point is, when you have access to such information, as an engineer, you can just try to create some cool stuff using the information you have access to. So when you have access to the temperature unit and the distance unit, try to find out something, or maybe with respect to temperature, the units doesn't really matter, even if you're trying to do some product related stuff. So that's going to be just basically informative. But speaking of time zone, I think time zone's got a huge use case. But before I go ahead, I would like to check the chats. Do I have any questions? Okay. So talking about the time zone, I think time zone has got a huge use case in terms of your time zone can be essential for someone to communicate with you, someone to do an appointment with you. So first we're going to check what's your time zone and what's your local time. So once we have access to your local time, then we can kind of use that and do stuff. So basically how this is working out is, suppose I create a skill which gives away my local time, and you are someone who wishes to contact me, but you don't really know what my time zone is, and because I haven't mentioned my time zone anywhere on my socials. Let's say, for example, I haven't mentioned anywhere where do I live, and what's the time zone, and what's the time right now. But someone wants to talk to me right now, or someone wishes to just make a communication with me. They would want to know what's the best time to do that. So firstly, it's important we let them know if I am having that skill, and if I'm letting a person to communicate with me through an Alexa skill, I can use this utility. So I just use the settings API, and I give away my access to my time zone. So my skill has the details. I mean, my skill has the response to my time zone. My skill knows what my time zone is, and then my skill would give away the local time, and then it can notify someone. It can tell someone as an information that, oh hey, so this is her time zone, this is the local time right now in the place she is in. So I think it's good time to talk to her. Let's say it's morning, and if it's afternoon, then you can say she might be sleeping right now, or she might be working right now, she might be eating right now. You can talk to her, this is a recession time. So we can just set up a skill like that, and that's what I'm gonna do today. It's pretty simple, doesn't involve a lot of rigorous coding, because I just want to do it, keep it short and simple, because I am trying to clear out some really cool utilities of the time zone, because I think this could be a great use case, even if you're thinking yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about what this can do. So if you have any thoughts personally about what the time zone can do, you can let me know in the comments. I would love to see that. So I think, yeah, that's something that I wanted to share. So what we're gonna do today is we'd have a skill. So the skill would, let's say, this is gonna be a funny one. So we're gonna set this up in a way. Let's say I have all my social media blocked. I am not in the social media, and I am out of office for, let's say, a month. I am traveling or just outside. And let's say I'm not using my email. I am not using my Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, nothing. So my email's just giving you, let's say you're trying to reach me out in my email, and my email just gives you a response that she is out of office and right now she cannot receive your email. But you have something urgent, you have something important, and you want to communicate with me, because I usually do this, and I've seen a lot of people do this just to take a break. They get away from the social media and stuff. So how are you gonna know what's it, where I am, and stuff? So that's gonna be fun. Let's say I'm traveling to countries, or let's say I'm traveling to cities every week, or let's say I'm in a continuous process of travel. So what's gonna happen? The time zone keeps changing, right? So the time zone's gonna keep changing, and you're gonna ask my school, like, let's say, what would the name of the school? Let's say, availability, Sohini availability, or something like that. Let's name it X for now. So you invoke the skill, then Alexa is gonna tell you that, hey, I guess you're here to understand if Sohini is available right now. So if you would want to know that, you can just say, is Sohini available right now? Or just a couple of more phrases that you could use to understand. Come to the next response. And you say that, is Sohini available right now? You just prompt this to Alexa. Then Alexa is gonna say, well, right now she is in this time zone, and her local time is this. Probably this is one of the good times to talk to her. And then you can just pick up your phone and maybe just give me a call. So I think that's how I thought this could be useful. This is just a use case that could be done just to, in terms of idea, this could be done just to feel good about something, or just for you to dabble around, or just for you to test out something, just for you to learn the process. But I think the time zone could be very much helpful for appointment, but I wouldn't be building an appointment skill today, because already we have one appointment skill. So before I go to the happy path, I would want to check if I have any questions. I see no questions. If there is any question, I request you please ask me, because I'm gonna answer all of them. And also I would love to know if you have any ideas for this, because that's something that motivates me, and that's something that puts me the thought as well, like, oh, this could be done this way as well. So if you have any thoughts, do let me know in the chats. And if you're here and if you're liking this stream, and if this content is helping you, and if you genuinely feel that this is essential, then you can just hit a like on this, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel on the below button. Hit a subscribe on that, hit a like, hit a thumbs up, and do share this. Can you show us how to test Alexa skills locally on your computer so we can debug? Yeah, you can do that. Have you had a chance to look at the VS Code toolkit? So that is number one process, and the number two process is the Ask SDK. You can do that, but I'm not quite sure if you can use that to run your skills, because I have not had a chance to take a look at the Ask CLI, but I have used the VS Code toolkit. And right now, the Amazon Alexa's VS Code toolkit for Alexa helps you to test your skills locally. You can do that. So you can test your skill in the VS Code itself. I would do that. I have created a couple of tutorials which is gonna come up this week Friday. So maybe we can just wait for that, because I guess I have what was that? Because today I got a topic to do. So once I finish this, if we have some time left, then I can maybe give you a short demo of that. Else, if I really wanted to do 2 streams and I wanted to discuss this with you all, because I see we have some number of viewers now. So I had 2 things in mind that I wanted to do ahead for the next couple of weeks. So the first one is create a skill in using your VS Code toolkit, and then just test that skill out and learn a bit more features like how to replay session, how to store and save the session. That's one. And the second thing that I was having on mind was, have you ever used SendGrid? I think we've done a couple of streams where we're using SendGrid to send emails to people via Alexa. So I wanted to do a stream where we start from scratch and we use SendGrid, how you keep the API environment variables, how you store them, how you set up the .env file, and how you create a handler to perform this operation, how you send emails to user, what's gonna be your email, what's gonna be the to email. So I was planning to do a stream on that. Let me know your thoughts on that. If it really sounds cool, then I would plan to do 2 streams on that. I think those 2 topics are gonna be a bit off the beat apart from the skill templates that we do every Friday. So do let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, I hope Nathan and hey Shubham, thanks for joining, and also thanks Nathan for joining. So I guess you gotta just wait for some time, and then we can do some cool streams on that. Nathan says he's interested in the first topic. Sure, we can do a VS Code. That's gonna take a while. So we would start from scratch, how you gotta get the extension done, how you gotta do a skill on that, or how you can import a skill, and then how you can test that on your local simulator, and how you can replay this session and stuff. We can do that. That's a good idea. Thanks for putting that in my head, Nathan. Great. Okay, so I think we're on the time zone stuff. So let's get back to the happy path. So this might look very funny, but yeah, I think I'm not sure if this sounds a very amazing or productive skill, but I think if you think a bit away from what we usually do, is just build applications and stuff always for the corporate sector, or trying to build applications that's gonna be super productive. I think sometimes we gotta do stuff which are short, simple, easy, and which could put someone to feel great about, and which could put a smile on someone's face. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a cute little skill that we could just do, and we could ask someone to use this, because I think if you're a person who keeps on traveling, this is gonna be an amazing skill for you. Trust me, this is gonna be great. Because you would keep traveling and people would get to know where you are, and they would get to know your local time. So this is how exactly the happy path would look like, and we're gonna build this. I think you can see this. Well, basically I'm not so busy all the time, but I didn't know another name to take to build this skill. So this is basically just an example. This doesn't personally say that I'm always busy. So yeah, so now let's get started and let's do this. And today also I wanted to do another small thing. Yeah, the response is very funny. Yeah, okay, and in here I think the time zone is undefined, because this for the simulator, the testing simulator, it doesn't show the time zone. But if you test this out on your device and your Echo Dot, then it's gonna tell you what's my time zone right now. So these are a couple of things that keep on changing. But again, for this stream, there's a tutorial, short tutorial, that Steve made a long time back, but he had the time zone defined on a simulator, but he couldn't find out the distance and what was the other thing, I think the temperature. He couldn't find out the response for that. So it's just that they keep on changing their stuff so frequently that some things just ought to work on your device and not on your testing simulator. So that's a strange thing in here. And sorry for the funny response, Shubham, but I wanted to do something funny and creepy today. I just didn't want to do serious stuff. So yeah, okay. Shubham says nice classes, thank you, and hi, thanks for joining. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with this. Yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to do today was using Postman. I would show you how the request and response works. So sometimes I think Postman seems to be funny to me always. Not funny, interesting to me always, because I always try to do some dabbling with Postman, and because I like to see the response coming up, or when I just post a request, it looks cool to me. I am a bit of, I fancy Java a bit more than Python or C++ or any other language. So I have some love for specific things, and one of them is Postman. So yeah, we do that by the end of this. So now what we can do is we'll go to GitHub. The reason I am not using skilltemplates.com for this is for some reason we are really working on the skilltemplates.com to find out why this skill doesn't get deployed, maybe because of versioning and stuff. So for some reason this doesn't get deployed for that. But of course, if you're trying to do that through GitHub, it works out pretty cool. So if you want to do this along with me today, you can just follow this link, and you can just go to this part and copy this code, get back to your console, and just create a skill. What should I name it? Come on, give me some name for this funny skill. Let's say funny time zone, or let's say Sohini's availability. That's not a good invocation name, but yeah, I'm not such a good person with names and stuff. I'm a bit boring on that note, so I would go ahead and create the skill. Let me make this larger. And I would go and import this. I would just paste the git code and wait for this to get deployed. So by the time we have this deployed, I would want to ask you one small question. Do you have any thoughts on this, on the questions that I had asked? Like, do you really know a use case where we could use the temperature unit or a distance unit of a particular user? Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I cannot think about anything. I'm still thinking. It's running behind it's running in this part of the brain. So yeah. If you have any thoughts on this, to let me know. And if you are liking this stream, do not forget to hit a like, hit a thumbs up. I can just see one like in this tutorial, in this stream. That saddens me. And you can subscribe to our channel if you're new in here. And yeah, so I think our code is pretty much deployed, and I would check the invocation name. Okay, so that sounds cool. I'm not sure if this would be a problem, but okay. So let me check if the intents have been deployed properly. Cool, cool. So now we're gonna go to test and see if the skill is working properly already. So I can see one like popping in. Thank you for that, whoever did that. Okay, so I would go to stage and change it to development, and then I would do Sohini's availability.
Say time zone, distance, or temperature to hear your Alexa settings.
Okay, so I would say temperature.
Your temperature measurement unit is Celsius.
Then I would say distance.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Actually, we need to do a reprompt because the session is getting ended in here. So we gotta continue the session so that it doesn't throw us an error, and this gets continued. So I would just do ask Sohini's availability for what's that distance?
Your distance measurement unit is metric.
Okay, so now if I just do this for time zone, it's gonna give me an error. Time zone.
Sorry, I can't understand the
so I would
command.
try this out on my
Please
Echo
say
device. Alexa, open Sohini's availability.
Say time zone, distance, or temperature to hear your Alexa settings.
Time zone.
Your time zone is Asia/Kolkata. Your local time is 9:58 p.m. Good night.
Cool. So she wished me good night because we have a handler that's set up in the code that gives you a greeting with respect to your timing. So we can change that. That's manipulative. But I guess now you got a hang of how this thing works out. So now since we are at this stage, so I would just go to my code. Just hit on code, open that. And this is the part. So now if you just see in here, we have this in the launch handler. So that's quite simple when you launch this skill. So we can just change this to Sohini's availability. And the moment we're using this for the time zone, we're calculating the time through this. And this is the name of my Alexa skill, and this is the part where you display the launch intent message. And inside of the time zone intent handler, you have this message coming out. So we're capturing the user's device ID, and then this is the main part. So this is how we are getting the device ID. The time zone for this particular device ID. We can try testing it in our Postman, and we'll do that by the end of this. I think let's first finish this part, then we can go to Postman. And then here we're calculating the local time, and then we're saying that this is my time zone and this my local time. So in here we got a special greeting that comes out in the end. It says good night. That's because when you scroll down, you'll get this part where this is calculated in a simple if-else statement. So you just have all these timings specified, and with respect to this, it's going to tell you whether it's morning, it's afternoon, it's evening, or it's night. So this is cool, and this is where we're going to put that funny message that's going to go out. So yeah. Okay, and this is the temperature. I think we have this wrong in here. Yeah, this is the temperature intent handler. So what we're doing is just asking, and in the same way, this is the syntax to get the temperature unit. Now, if you're new to this, and let's say you are getting errors that, sorry, so let's say most of the cases, you can get this dialog coming out. So now if you're testing this out, or if you're not, even if you're not, if you do it later and if you find a prompt coming up like this, that if you don't have temperature measurement unit set, you can set it from the companion app. So what you can do is go to your alexa.amazon.in, go to your skills.
There is no incoming call.
Creepy. This keeps on happening. Yeah, so now you can go to your skills, and then you can go to your dev skills. Then you can go to this part, Sohini's availability. We just have a picture in here, maybe some time back this was set up, but yeah, if you're publishing this, you can just go ahead and change this. And actually I did something wrong. We are not supposed to come in here. We gotta go to settings. I'm so sorry. Once you go to settings, so right now we're in here, this device. If you open this, you can see the device time zone in here. So it's Asia/Kolkata. So when you go to measurement units, you can turn this on. So if you don't have these set up, because you can find this as off. If you have this off, then you're gonna get this prompt. This is gonna come up. So if this is coming up for you, you can navigate to this part and you can go to your device and you can set this up. So if you have multiple devices, you gotta do it for all of them in order to test out your skill in them. Like you see, it's enabled in this device as well. So you have to go to your companion app, and you can have this in your mobile phone. I prefer using this one because the mobile phone application is too slow. So this is much better. So yeah, you can just enable these permissions in here. Then it's gonna function easily. So once you've done this, we're gonna get back, and now, so for getting this entire thing in Postman, it's important that you have a API. So now what happens is normally we have 3 APIs, which are these. So now if you just do api.amazonalexa.com, it might not work because I think by default it picks up the North America region, because yeah, I mean, this is what it is, but it might be different for most of you. Like for me, this is this. So you gotta select the right API, and you have to make sure that you have the device ID, and you just need 3 things to get your response in Postman. And this is just to understand how the request and response works out. That's it. It's nothing else. It's not gonna, like, you might think why she is doing this, so it's got no absolute reason. It's just that if you want to see how the request and response works out, like what is Alexa taking in from you in order to give you the response. If that is what your question is, then you can do this in Postman. So how are you going to do this in Postman? So what we're going to do this is, normally when you do this, you can have your device ID in here. This is what your device ID is, and you can also have the API access token, but make sure that this expires and this keeps changing on, you know, like when the session gets ended, then this expires, and this is different for every session. So just make sure that you're putting on the right access token, and the device ID is always same. So now, so you can do 2 things. Either you can fetch this from here, this part, or you can go and just do a console.log. Let's say for the temperature, let's do this for temperature intent handler. So here what we can do is we can do a console.log, and we can do device ID, and let's say that's how I log statements. Yeah, so that's easier for me to see. And this is the device ID, and if you want to have the API access token, you can do that as well. So yeah, so this is how you do it. Just a sec. Actually, yeah, I mean, yeah. If you can have your Postman open now. Let's deploy it for one more time, and then we can test this out. Why? And it's important that you do a run on your what's this, in your testing simulator, because if you don't test it, you cannot have the API access token, because for each session, as I said, there's a new API access token. Without that, you cannot check this in Postman. So you might think, or you might wonder, like, what if I just don't do any of this? And what if I know what my device ID is? And what if I know what was my previous API access token? And what if I just go in Postman, just hit the API and try it out? No, it's not gonna work. So if you want to test that out, you gotta test this first in your simulator. So what we do is, I'll just do a refresh. I will do Sohini's availability.
Say time zone, distance, or temperature to hear your Alexa settings.
Let's say temperature.
Your temperature measurement unit is Celsius.
Okay, so for this, I wouldn't need this. I wouldn't just type too much. I hate to do that sometimes, not always. And then I would just go in and go to the request for the time zone. So this is it for time zone. So I would just copy this part, and then I would just go to Postman. I would just paste it, and in place of device ID, I would remove this, and I would copy my device ID from here. Command C, paste it in here, and then I would go to authorization. I would hit on bearer token, and then I would paste my API access token. That's in here. I would copy this. This is so big. And I would send this. Let's see. Yeah, I think, yeah. Oops, there's no content. Was this for the, oh, time zone's never gonna give you a content. Time zone doesn't give you content, because as I said, it cannot what's that? The time zone doesn't get displayed. Yes, so now you see this is the response. I'm not sure if my Postman is quite visible. But yeah, this is what the response is. I think you can see. Now, if I try this again after some time, then it's not gonna work. And I will show that to you as well. Because as I said, the token gets expired. So yesterday, I just tried to dabble around with this for a long time, and this is what it is. Now, if I just go ahead and try this for distance unit, I think it's the same for distance units. Yeah, it's so I would just go and do... and just do distance units and just send this. So now it gives me metric. I hope you can see. So for this session, this is the token, and you can do this. But if you do this for time zone, then this is not gonna work. So yeah, there is nothing, no content. You can see the error 204, no content. So normally when you try these out and you get all the response codes in Postman, you can find out what these actually refer to. But yeah, this is how it works. Like, now I think you're quite clear with the fact that what exactly Alexa's taking from you. And just to give you info, just to give you the response, what exactly it's requesting from you. Because most of the time we just write down so much of code, so many handlers, so many syntaxes, but we actually don't look at the inner stuff inside of that. So I think this isn't something very big that I shared, but of course this is some little part which could help you somewhere. So I hope we were clear on this. So yeah, that's how it is on Postman. And sadly for time zone, neither does it give an info on the Alexa testing simulator, nor does it give an info in your Postman. So the response comes out as no content. Maybe the format or for some reason it fails to do so. But again, I'm not sure if this would be the same scenario for all the time zones. That could be an issue as well. Or all the endpoints. Maybe it's different for this one or this one. So if you are someone who belongs to North America or Far East region, I would highly recommend that you give it a try on your Postman or your console, and then you can let me know how it is for you. So yeah, and I think if you attempt to retrieve the distance measurement unit or this, you will get an error. So yeah, so you see, this is for some places they get this error, but I don't get it. So this is for this region, because the tutorial that Steve made for this example, he uses this endpoint and this region, and he gets an error for the temperature and the distance measurement unit that doesn't shows up in his simulator, but his time zone shows up. And it's the opposite for me here in India. So that's how it is. I don't know how they've designed it or what's the reason for this, but yeah, this is what it is. Yeah, now let's get moving to the funny part. So we were building a funny skill. So now I'm not going to create a separate intent. We're going to do stuff inside of the time zone handler. So this part, let's remove this part and let's write down that stuff. Hey, I know you're curious. Just a sec. Let's change this to tilde. I know you're curious to know if Sohini is available right now. You can ask me. You can say, or just let's remove this. I can help you on that. You can say, is Sohini available right now? Or is Sohini busy right now? Just anything. You can just write down anything. So I'm just trying to, yeah, just write down something to just get to see this to work. Just to get to see this working. Oops. This is just what they tilde. So we're gonna change this to tilde. And this is it. Now we're gonna go to the time zone intent handler. So where is the build? I go to time zone intent. I'm so sorry. Is Sohini available right now? Is Sohini busy right now? Sohini's status right now. I haven't ever called myself so many times at a row. I am hating it. Can I call, or let's say, is Sohini up for a call right now? I think, yeah, let's keep this that short and simple. I know it's funny, but sometimes you gotta do funny stuff with code, you know, Shabam. I hope you're enjoying this, and also share with me stories of you doing funny stuff with code. I am childish, but I enjoy doing this because this is the time, because most of the time when I spend working on the client projects or when I spend time working on the enterprise level projects, I I don't get to do this, so I just do this on the streams. But yeah, your opinion matters, of course, if you enjoy this. So yeah, this is deployed. So now, because client projects are so serious and I gotta do stuff like said, like it's mentioned, and I cannot just do funny stuff in there. So yeah. Okay, so now we come back to our code and we can go to this part. Okay, we'll come back to our time zone intent here. Okay, thanks for the response, Shubham. I requested and you responded. So we're doing live postman in here. Okay, so now in this part, we will change this. So the first question was you can ask me. Now I'm gonna respond back that, well, currently Sohini is in this time zone, and her local time is this. I guess this is a, let's keep it till here. I guess this is then we come down to our greeting. Where's this part? So if it's morning, I guess this is a good time, is a perfect time to talk to her, and she wishes you good morning. Okay, so morning time would be, no, not 4 a.m. of course. That's not a good time to talk to me. I would be in deep sleep at that point of time. But yeah, if it's after, let's say, 8 a.m. is fine, still fine. Okay, so if this is after 8 a.m. and it's before noontime, that's fine. Noontime is fine. So it's gonna give this out. Now the next iteration is from noontime and before evening time. This is good time to talk to her if she is not having her lunch. She wishes you good afternoon. And if you want to have separate separate utterances, responses every time, then you can just keep an array in here, and that's going to give out the responses randomly. So you can do that as well, but since we're doing it for now, we're going to just keep one response. And then if it's before nighttime could be 10. I talk to people before 10 normally. Then 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. is, yeah, it's what? Yeah, it's again a great time to talk business with her. She wishes you good evening. And this could be funny. What I can do is I can just have a recorded voice that says good evening, and I can just attach that in here. Well, again, if you're using audio files, you have to format them with respect to the SSML standard formats. I think you know that. We have done that a couple of times for all the audio streams that we've done. So we can use that. That's gonna be so cool. So my voice is gonna come up. Or yeah, I mean, this could be a great skill. I can use my own voices. This idea just came in my mind. I wish I could do that, but yeah. Okay, anyway. And then if it's the nighttime, this is not a good time. Not a good time to talk to her is she is sleeping right now. You can bump off to bed too. Good night. Okay, now let's deploy this and let's check what's coming out. Okay, this is funny, but this is gonna be interesting. Okay, I will use my echo device for this. I think it's gonna sound better in that. I'm not sure. Okay, I will just put my microphone in here. Alexa, open Sohini's availability.
Hey, I know you're curious to know if Sohini is available right now. I can help you on that. You can say, is Sohini available right now? Or is Sohini busy right now?
Is Sohini up for a call now?
Well, currently Sohini is in the Asia/Kolkata time zone, and her local time is 10:22 p.m. I guess this is not a good time to talk to her as she is sleeping right now. You can bump off to bed too. Good night.
Okay, I'm not sleeping right now, so that's that's what's that? So in the code we have done this only for before nighttime, right? And it's 10:22 at my place, and where we were walking with the nighttime is 10 p.m. So yeah, so I think that was the most funniest skill I could ever think about. Crazy, creepy, but I think that was interesting. Out of your normal coding stuff that you do regularly, and this kind of refreshes me as well. But yeah, you could do this for your personal use to amaze your friend. You can do this. I would highly recommend, and if you ever do this, do let me know. I would want to give a shout out to that. I would take the credits of sharing this idea with you. But yeah, this is an amazing skill. Let me know your thoughts if you really like this skill. And I think we did Postman, right? Yeah, we did Postman. We covered this out. And someday I would also want to stream, so that I just shared with you the two things that I wanted to do. One was the VS Code, how we can test Alexa skills locally using our VS Code Alexa skills ask extension, how we can do that. So we'll do a stream on that. We do another stream on how to properly use the SendGrid API keys and to properly set up the .env file, and just do a demo on how the email goes out from sender to sender and how you do that. We'll do a stream on that. And the third thing that just came onto my mind just went away as well. What was that? I was gonna share something. I'm so sorry. I don't remember actually. I was gonna share something. Anyways, I'm so sorry for that. That's me. What was I talking about? Okay, I just don't remember that. But if I do, I will probably just do a tweet on that. But yeah, I hope this particular skill was funny. So I will see you all. Yeah, the third one was I wanted to do a stream on how to debug an Alexa skill just exclusively using CloudWatch. How we'll just do a error full of code, and we'll just debug that using CloudWatch, because I am sure that most of them out there are not quite familiar with CloudWatch. Trust me, I was on the same level, and I'm still not too experienced and pro level with CloudWatch, but yeah, it helps me a lot. So I think that's a good topic to do. If you think that's a good topic, you can let me know on the chats. So yeah, that's all for today. Do you have any questions? Do I have any questions? I will just maybe wait for a while to see if I have any questions. Okay. Okay, all right. So I think I don't have much questions today. So yeah, that's all for today. That's what I wanted to share for today. I hope this was useful, and someday Someday. Thanks a lot, Shubham. And I wanted to say thank you to all of you for always coming to my streams and supporting me. That's so humble of you. And for contributing to ideas, talking to me, interacting with me, with the content, doing stuff. I mean, this is useful. This is valuable. Someday I wish we do something that's a bit more offline and not so online, so that I also get a chance to meet you all in person, and we could just maybe do more many funny, creepy, crazy skills like this. That's completely off the track of to what you do normally at your office or maybe in your workplace. So yeah, I will see you again on next Friday, same time, 9:30 p.m. IST, 10 a.m. ET, 11 a.m. PT, and I am available on Instagram. Twitter. That's my Twitter handle, and you can follow Dabble Lab everywhere using this. And if you really like the stream, do not forget to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and do share this with your friends and family. Thanks a lot, Brito. I'm so glad that today's session was useful, and it just helped you all. It made you all laugh, and it made you all feel great. I hope you utilize this skill sometime in the future, and let me know. Alright then, I will see you all again next Friday. See you soon. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the day if it's morning for you, and a good night if you're in India. Bye bye.